I always ask people, what do you want from a relationship? What are you looking for in a person in order to be willing to share a part of your life journey with him or her? And amazingly enough, I hardly ever get a clear answer. So if you don't have a clear answer to these questions as well, today I'll share with you a list of priorities that I consider to be essential in a less long relationship. And I really hope I can give you some ideas to work it out your own answer. Hi, I'm Juliana. If you are into self-development, especially on the topics of mind, body, and soul, then for sure this channel is for you. I really appreciate if you subscribe and activate the notification bell. I believe that love life, it is an area that a lot of people have difficulties with, and if you don't know what you want, it will not help you at all. In the end of the day, how can you go shopping if you don't have a list? And this list cannot be so vague as, oh, the person has to love me, respect me, it has to be honest and trustworthy. It has to be more specific than that. Even science has proven that the love hormones, they only last long enough in order for us to reproduce. What about after that? What is left from the relationship? If you'd like to get married someday, having or not a partner yet, there are certain things that I do recommend that you think deeply about it before you make this kind of commitment in your life. And now I'll share with you some important ideas that should be taken into consideration, especially if you are dreaming about having a lifelong relationship. Communication is by far the most important thing in any kind of relationship, and it has to work both ways. Now, keep in mind that according to communication theories, 93% it is non-verbal and only 7% it is verbal. So it's not just about talking. It is about reading each other's body language, facial expression, and even tone of voice. It is also about being able to communicate your needs to your partner and be able to understand the ones he or she might have as well. Of course, talking is also important because in the end of the day, once you grow old together and you don't have that many obligations towards life anymore, what else would you be able to do? You really gotta be able to talk about pretty much anything, and that's something really important that I believe it has to be there from the beginning. The second most important thing, it is to feel comfortable being yourself, because after you are living together, there's not much you can hide or hold back on your thoughts and actions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For sure, you don't want to be with someone that looks down at you under any circumstances. And the opposite is also true. You shouldn't date a person that you feel ashamed of in any aspect. And it is not fair to ask anyone to change for you. Instead, choose to be with someone that you admire so you can look up to the person, get inspired, maybe even challenged to become a better version of yourself. It is also important that you share similar core values, and that includes religion, especially if it's something that you really care about it. Even if it is something that you don't really care at the moment, you should really wonder about what will happen after you have kids with a person that has a different faith than you. I met a lot of couples from different religious backgrounds, and it was not really important until they had kids. Then most of the time it turned out to be a problem. Besides sharing similar core values, if you are willing to share your life journey with somebody, it is really helpful if you are both looking in the same direction and you have a similar pace. Let's say that your dream is to move to a farm and have a quiet life away from cities and people, and your partner dreams about traveling the world. How does that go together? Or you don't want to have kids and you'd like to open your own business, build an empire and have a lot of money, and your partner wants to have children and have a family life. You get my point? If you are not looking in the same direction, it's going to be a very hard journey. It's going to be a push and pull between each other to see which path you are going to follow. And that means that you either find a third path that's good for the two of you, or one of you will have to give up his or her own dreams to follow the other, and that might not turn out well. Regrets and sorrows can arise in the future. Now about the pace. It is normal that we change in life and we all have different speeds to do that. Let's say that you love to challenge yourself because you like to grow and develop, and you do so in a very quick way, and you are dating someone that loves the comfort zone. Can you imagine the gap between the two of you a few years later? You see how the pace is important? If you don't walk side by side at the same speed, most likely 10, 20 years later, you're gonna be very apart from each other. One last thing that I'll mention today. No matter how much you love someone, most likely this person will have something that will piss you off. So, whenever you meet a person that makes you wonder if you'd marry him or her, really become aware of these annoying things that the person has. And ask yourself if you can live with that, and also try to imagine how you will react to that 5 or 10 years from now. We all have imperfections, so just acknowledge them before you commit, and don't complain about it later. You cannot force a person to change just because you want. I have 2 more videos that you might be interested about it. I really hope today's video has helped you somehow. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.